Cardinal tennis player Sam Sweeney is by far the most decorated player in North Central history. But there's one honor that's eluded him as a Cardinal, and that's a national title. He comes to the Cardinal Report to talk about his quest for the trophy, and it all starts right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alex Simmons. This week we're joined by NCC assistant tennis coach CJ McCann and CCIW Tennis Player of the Year and ITA Central Region Player of the Year Sam Sweeney. CJ, you look at Sam's career at North Central, definitely by far the most decorated player here. What are a couple things he needs to focus on going into that round of 32 next week in California?
Some things that Sam's been preparing for is really a daily kind of regiment, managing his schedule, managing his sleep, managing his energy levels at certain times. We've been preparing him with some good practice matches, some things like that. But I mean, it's really the 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the tournament, getting out there 2 or 3 days early so that we have time to prepare and get used to the conditions, the courts, well rested and mentally and physically prepared.
Sam, having experienced this tournament last year out in Ohio, how more prepared do you feel going in this year, you know, that you have experienced this before, that you've got that under your belt?
It's so much better just to kind of be there. I mean, experience is everything, like you said. But, I know kind of the system. I kind of, last year I felt kind of rushed, and that was nobody's fault but my own. And, coming back this year, we're going a little bit early, so I feel like I'll be really prepared and acclimated to the conditions, and I feel just much more organized this year, that's huge.
What's it like going out to a tournament, out of state, different part of the country, where you don't even have a game plan for who you're going to be playing because the draw doesn't come out until a couple days after you're there? What's it like kind of preparing for that? Is it nerve-wracking?
That's kind of how tennis is. I'm like used to it. I kind of during the summer, you travel to a tournament and you see who signs in, and then they produce the draw the night before. So it's kind of I don't really care who I play. It's biggest thing is it's just being out there and playing the conditions, and definitely just getting used to being in California as opposed to Chicago.
What's the mindset you can kind of take into a situation like this? Do you just approach it like any other match, or is it at the point where you know where you're at and things do kind of get amped up?
I'm sure I'll get a little bit amped up. Just getting used to the venue is a big thing, and just the same thing that got you there. You just gotta reproduce what results you had before. Just kind of play solid and kind of do the same routine. Hopefully clean it up a little bit and limit the errors, but just go out and play my game.
For sure. CJ, when you look at the run Sam has kind of had here in the CCIW the last 3 seasons, obviously very remarkable. Mm-hmm. Him and Matt in doubles as well. What's kind of been the key that these guys have been so dominant?
A lot goes into it. I mean, obviously they're extremely talented. In watching Sam and getting to know him and how he plays, he is, there's a reason he's playing at the level that he is, and it's because of his work ethic and the amount of time that he puts into it and the amount of work that he's put into it. He really does set the example for what it means, the commitment that it requires to achieve what he's achieved. I mean, he's earned every win that he's gotten in his career here.
And when you have a star like that, who a lot of the younger players can maybe look at, Sam is talented, but when they see him kind of putting in that work, I imagine that helps you guys as coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. He really does. People, the rest of the team, all the guys have gotten to see, well, you're not just born that good. It's the long hours, it's the dedication, it's going out and hitting serves for 3 hours instead of 15 minutes.
And I know, talking with Coach Patrick earlier in the year, he was talking about how when you have a guy like Sam, you have a doubles tandem like Sam and Matt, who are very good, you want to get them some of the top competition, but at the same time, you don't want to harm the team as a whole. How is it having that balancing act as a coach when it comes to scheduling like that? There's
always a good variety that we throw into the schedule, and there's wins and losses as a team and with the rest of the team, there's always something to learn from. So, we had a large variety of talented teams and less talented teams that were on our schedule this year. And you can take the good and bad out of all of it. So we just tried to use that as a learning experience. Some teams we competed really well with, gave ourselves a chance to win, and other teams were more of a walkover. A couple teams walked over us pretty good. So, it's just you want to experience as many varieties of teams as you can.
For sure. And Sam, you've been on a heck of a run this spring. You look at your record, 20-1 in singles, the last 13 in a row. What's been working for you that you've been able to run off like this and be in such a groove?
I worked really hard on serves, trying to my serve throughout my career has been up and down. I've had days where I can serve really big, and then days where I can serve just, not so great. So, working on serves and just even when I'm struggling, having like a good second serve to depend on. I worked a lot on my backhand and a lot on just, playing smarter, trying to, if I'm going to lose, let the guy beat me. And so far it's worked. The offseason's been a lot of work. So.
Definitely. And you look at this program as a whole, it's come really quite a ways since you got here. The big win over Carthage this season and some big team wins as a whole. Add the new tennis courts in and out, and I imagine, for prospective high school tennis players looking for somewhere to play, North Central's got to be somewhere that's definitely up on the radar a lot more than it's compared to the last couple of years.
Definitely. I mean, North Central brings a unique balance to academics and athletics, and with the new facilities, you definitely have an opportunity to improve. You have an opportunity to do many things there. So the program is definitely, I'd say, on the uprise. I hope, after I leave, guys continue to keep getting better.
CJ, how much have the new indoor tennis courts at the Resurrect, new outdoor tennis courts that are beautiful, I imagine has helped you guys in recruiting, made your jobs a little bit easier?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm getting the outdoor courts done and having a legitimate home field to play on makes a great difference, and they look nice. The whole area and facility, as far as the athletics go, is top notch. The indoor courts at Resurrect were huge for our spring practices. We hosted, I think, just one match there, almost a second match due to outdoor conditions. But the amount of practice time that we got in on those courts, where we didn't have to transport the whole team to an off-site location, was absolutely critical to kind of our team building and development throughout the season this year.
And as we look at North Central tennis kind of in a post-Sam Sweeney world as we move into next fall and next spring, Matt Boguslawski becomes the heir apparent at number one. He's fared pretty well at that at times when he's played in the number one slot.
Right.
How well do you see him coming into that role, emerging as a leader?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Matt has been working on the maturity at which he plays, and he's had a lot of big number two matches this year that he really rose to the occasion. And, there's a lot of, especially in conference, there's so much depth, both at one and the two spots within our conference that I think that is captain of the team. He's ready for that responsibility, and he'll be ready for that role, and all geared up for it.
And Sam, if we're talking with you here in a couple weeks and you have a high finish or, even bring home a trophy from this tournament, what do you think will be the reason why? What are, maybe the one or two things for Sam Sweeney that are the most important things to look at for this tournament?
One, I would say, serving. I'm gonna have to serve big, get some, one or two easy holds through each set. That'd be good. Get some free points, especially because it'll be hot out there. So to work really hard on my serve would be tough. And I think just to go into it and play. I mean, last year I was so amped, and I tried to play a game that I don't play. And if I can win when I'm struggling, or if I can step up at the critical points of a set and the critical points of a match, I like my odds. So I think if I play well, I think I'll win it.
For sure. Well, Sam, we appreciate you giving us some time. CJ, thank you as well, and good luck as you head out west.
Thank you very much.
Well, as they head out west, stay right here. More Cardinal Report coming your way just after this.